Hello, and thanks for joining us for our KRQE News 13 Best of Special, highlighting the work of our KRQE Investigates team. Investigative journalism is one of the cornerstones of the work we do at News 13. While we bring you news stories about what's happening in every community every day, our investigative team covers the news in a different way. Sometimes it takes months to dig into more complicated topics in New Mexico, with longer stories that get to the bottom of the issue. Tonight, we're taking a look back at just some of the stories our Gabrielle Burkhart and Ann Perrette covered for you in 2022. You probably know by now shoplifters have become more and more brazen, daring store workers and security to stop them, then pulling out weapons and firing shots when someone does try to stop them. This year, it got so out of control, law enforcement started focusing on what was once considered a petty crime. In a KRQE News 13 investigation, Ann Perrette takes you along on one of their operations.
Stuffing items in bags or under clothes, grabbing them off the shelf in bulk, pretending to pay but taking off with what's hidden instead.
It is low risk and it is absolutely high reward.
Shoplifting.
No one thought, though, that all they needed to do was to go to Home Depot or Walmart to pick up these violent offenders.
Like Brianna Garcia. She's seen here firing gunshots out of her car window at a Walmart grocery store after security there tried to stop her from shoplifting. Police say it was her fourth known shoplifting spree that week.
There is nothing that the retailer can do. There's nothing even that their security officers can do. They're being knocked to the ground, they're being beaten, they're having guns pulled on them, tasers, knives, bear mace.
Employees, many making minimum wage, are told to keep a distance and just watch and document the theft, which is why the Organized Retail Crime Unit was created.
The driving force behind this is not just kids stealing candy bars. There is an organizational presence there, and it's related to money laundering, racketeering, and a lot of other things. And that's the main focus of this program.
The program he came up with. The Attorney General's office asked we not identify their special agent, as he frequently conducts these stings, but we were allowed to join him on one.
This particular Walmart has had a lot of issues. They've had a lot of pushouts, they've had a lot of walkouts, they've had incidents of violence, things like that.
The team is working off the store's list of known thieves and looking for new faces.
We've got people monitoring what's going on inside the store as well as what's going on outside of the store and providing that information back to the rest of the team.
Take down, take down, take down.
The team converges at the store's exit.
Get on the ground now.
To arrest the thief.
Hey, no, hey, do not resist. We're the Albuquerque police. You're under arrest right now for shoplifting.
Police retrieve the stolen items.
Yeah, cool. Good job, guys.
Court records show this is $500 worth of car detailing products, floor mats, and a cart. An officer takes everything back inside to calculate the haul.
What's your name, my man?
I think we've got probably about 18 different people plus a couple of transport units.
And that's APD and AG's office?
Yes, ma'am.
The next step, clearing the scene to keep the ongoing operation a secret. The suspect is driven to a different location where he's questioned and booked.
Why did you choose this location? Why are you stealing? Why are you stealing what you're stealing? And what you're planning on doing with it once it's stolen?
They are planning and pursuing revenue from these stores and then selling them illegally to other customers. They're purchasing weapons or purchasing guns.
Often, the thieves are selling the goods for drug money. And to get that money, they're getting bolder and more desperate.
These criminals are directly tied to the level of violence in our community. So if we make these store centers more safe, we have a real chance to actually reducing the harm level in our own community. And that's the real takeaway.
During our ride-along, police also caught Leon Quillen. They say he tried to walk out with more than $600 worth of vinyl records. We witnessed 3 arrests within hours. A total of 16 people were caught in that week-long operation. The teams conducted 8 since September, arresting a total of 85 people. For many, shoplifting is their profession.
A lot of these individuals will go hit Sandoval County, Valencia County, and Bernalillo County all within a day or a week. And they play court systems off of each other. And so we are making sure that the judges understand the full criminal history.
Which has led to as many as 35 criminal charges for one suspect. AG Balderas says they're proving the shoplifter's actions rise to a felony.
I don't want to see our neighborhoods losing grocery stores, losing drugstores, just because we can't get a handle on safety and the criminal activity in our community.
It's difficult, you know, it can often feel like pushing against the ocean, but we're making a difference.
The Attorney General is now working to expand this effort across the state. He credits the retail industry for its help in swiftly providing surveillance video to build cases and working on new technology to deter shoplifters. Ann Perret, KRQE investigates.
The Attorney General's office prosecuted these cases with the goal of prison time. Most of the cases are still working their way through the courts, and a term-limited Hector Balderas will soon leave his position as AG. He tells KRQE he's hopeful his successor will continue the shoplifting operations. As you just saw, shoplifting crimes don't always end in the stores. KRQE found some thieves were using city buses as their getaway cars, which brings us to another KRQE investigation that brought to light all kinds of trouble city bus drivers are dealing with. Investigative reporter Gabrielle Burkhardt obtained numbers and the disturbing video to show you what's happening on our city buses.
A city of Albuquerque bus driver sucker punched. Another driver slapped by a passenger. KRQE Investigates obtained city bus footage capturing violent encounters this year, even a shooting, where a man who missed the bus along Central showed his displeasure by firing 6 shots at the bus as it drove away. No one was hurt.
Wow, that guy just shot at the bus.
But this case from February is a different story.
Dude, I'll knock you out.
What looks like a teenager lashes out at a bus driver who just said no mask, no ride, back when masks were still mandatory on public transportation.
You better get out of here. Nigga. You better get out of here. Oh.
The teen headbutts the driver, then a scuffle. As the driver tries to push the kid away, others jump in, repeatedly punching the bus driver in the head, knocking him to the ground. And it doesn't stop there. This guy comes back, stomping and kicking the driver while he's down. His friend steals the bus driver's backpack before running off.
See what happened to my glasses?
Disoriented and bloodied, the bus driver asks another passenger for help and calls for security.
I just got jumped by a couple of punks.
I'm going to be 66 in August.
Ricardo Gonzalez is the driver in the video. He's been a city bus driver for nearly 23 years.
That's horrible. I don't wish that upon anybody.
He and other longtime bus drivers claim their role has changed over the years, particularly this year when the city made bus rides free and gas prices hit an all-time high.
Oh, it has changed drastically.
Do you feel like it's become more dangerous?
In some aspects, yes.
Central, San Mateo.
Especially along certain routes.
Some of these people are out there, and you can see it in their faces that they're not all there.
Bus drivers dubbed this guy the Sucker Punch Bandit, saying he's done this to more than one driver.
People are, I think all across the city, people are getting worse. I mean, I don't know what else to say. It's bad.
Lois Painter has been driving city buses for a decade. She hasn't been assaulted, but says she's often on edge.
Another driver got punched on Central, and they watched this individual get on my bus. They let him continue to sit on my bus until APD came, which was, you know, APD has response times.
When something does happen, Painter and Gonzalez say security and police response times aren't fast enough.
Holy moly, by that time, man, this whole thing could have escalated. This could really escalate bad. It could get out of hand.
We wanted to know if the city's data shows an increase in violence against bus drivers in Albuquerque. Through a public records request, we found out reports of battery against drivers are way up, with 29 cases reported last year. That's up more than 70% over the 2 previous years. When you see those things or hear that that's happening, what's your reaction?
My first reaction is, what's wrong with people? My second reaction is, how can we stop this from happening again? I want to make sure my drivers are safe. I want to make sure that anybody that steps foot on a bus is safe.
Interim Transit Director Bobby Cisneros says ridership and incidents have increased as life is returning to its pre-pandemic ways. So what's being done to make things safer? Cisneros says they're working to equip all city buses with driver shields like these, essentially thick plexiglass to enclose the driver.
We installed a plexiglass version, but that was designed more for the pandemic. They're flimsier, they're not as sturdy.
Video shows a man reach past that enclosure to punch a driver in the face, breaking his nose.
Did he hit you? Yeah, he hit me. Why? I don't know why he hit me.
Better, more secure enclosures are coming, Cisneros says.
It's a supply chain issue, just like everything else going on right now. So we've made the orders, we're just waiting for them to come in.
I signed on to drive a bus. I didn't sign on to be a police officer or security personnel or, to put my life in jeopardy.
Painter argues driver shields aren't enough.
We're dealing with mental illness, we're dealing with alcoholism, drug addiction, homelessness on every route, every day.
Some routes are worse than others. City data shows Route 66 along Central from the west side to Uptown has the most reports of attacks on drivers dating back to 2019.
What do you think needs to be done to protect drivers?
I feel like we need security on each and every bus.
I hear them, I hear their complaints, I hear their concerns.
Is it feasible to staff every bus with a security guard?
Unfortunately, the cost would be astronomical.
The city's struggling to staff security positions and bus drivers as it is, he says.
Bus is down, guys. Thank you. Sorry.
Gonzalez says his attackers still haven't been caught. And while you'll occasionally see a security guard on a bus, drivers know it's not enough of a deterrent.
No, he took off. I don't even know who it was.
Gabrielle Burkhart, KRQE investigates.
After our story aired, city councilors re-looked at the city's zero-fare bus program. Instead of continuing the program through 2023, two councilors suggested offering sign-ups for free bus passes instead of letting everyone on for free. More than 30 years after two young women and a teenage girl were murdered in Albuquerque, a middle-aged man comes forward to get something off his chest, admitting he was the killer. News 13 investigative reporter Gabrielle Burkhart obtained Paul Apodaca's chilling confession. A warning, the details he shares are disturbing.
It's taken me so long to know how much pain I've caused to these women that perhaps didn't understand that.
This moment last July was the moment detectives and victims' families had been waiting for decades.
After years and years of contemplating and researching this, I understand all the pain that I've caused, and I feel it for families, for people that I've murdered.
Lapel video shows this Albuquerque police homicide detective didn't immediately realize she was interviewing a possible serial killer.
I came here with the understanding that you had information on some homicides, but I did not know that you were talking about yourself.
Paul Apodaca, now in his 50s, had just been picked up by University of New Mexico police. Homeless and possibly suffering from heat stroke, he wanted to talk to police.
So I'm going to read you your constitutional rights.
Apodaca goes on to confess to 3 unsolved murders.
I murdered Caitlin Arquette in Oakley. And a girl that was crossing the bridge in Central.
In June of 1988,
we need to know what happened from the time she left the fraternity house to the time we found her.
21-year-old UNM student Althea Oakley was walking home from a party when she was attacked by a man with a knife near CNM, stabbed multiple times before her assailant ran off. Apodaca says he learned on the news later that night that Oakley had died. He says that was his first murder.
When she died, it seemed like nothing else mattered, and I just kept doing it again because It's like I did not do any more harm.
Apodaca worked as a security aide at TVI at the time, now CNM. He says he saw Oakley walking and followed her with the intention of raping her.
That's why I had him.
Aside from a sketch and witness accounts of a man who took off, police didn't have much and the case went cold. Then in September of 1988,
she was found shot to death near Tingley Beach on September 9th of 1988 while walking with a friend around 1 in the morning.
13-year-old Stella Gonzalez was shot and killed. At the time of his confession, Apodaca described the killing but didn't know the victim's name.
What did she look like?
I couldn't tell at that range.
How did you kill her?
I shot her.
The following summer, July 16, 1989, 18-year-old UNM student Caitlin Arquette was shot to death as she was driving home on Lomas near Broadway.
Caitlin Arquette apparently was the victim of a random traffic shooting.
I shot her at Lomas and Broadway. She continued to drive forward until she lost consciousness and hit the telephone pole.
Arquette's murder was one of the most high-profile cold cases in the city over the years.
Albuquerque police say they have very few clues in this case.
She wants to be a doctor.
Arquette's mom, Lois Duncan, the author of I Know What You Did Last Summer, also wrote the book Who Killed My Daughter, a book Apodaca says he read.
It's a lot of years to carry that around.
It's a shame that it's taken so much to bring me to this point.
Apodaca also confessed to raping other women. He was sentenced to 20 years in 1995 for raping a young family member. And since his release, he says he struggled to come forward about these crimes.
Why did you do it?
I had anger in my heart against women. Resentment.
Why?
Because I've always seen men treat women bad and they have older women, and I tried to be nice and they never appreciate it.
He says his actions, motivated by hate, were evil and dark, and referred to the Word of God and his struggle to accept punishment.
God is forgiving. I've come to realize that I don't deserve to be forgiven.
Gabrielle Burkhart, KRQE Investigates.
That same day, homicide detectives took a DNA sample from Apodaca, then researched old case files, returned to the crime scenes, and worked to make sure Apodaca was telling the truth. APD is now calling this a miracle confession from a serial killer. A troubled New Mexico police officer allowed back on patrol after he's accused of choking a woman. In a KRQE investigation, Ann Perrette digs into the officer's past, revealing his trail of lies and problems as he jumped from job to job around the state.
Like, it was scary when you were choking me.
Did you lose consciousness?
No, I didn't go unconscious, but I mean, I could feel myself where I couldn't breathe.
Physical abuse this woman says she almost didn't report because her alleged attacker is a longtime police officer in New Mexico. Worried about calling 911, she ends up stopping an officer she saw parked outside an Albuquerque Walmart in November.
I'm sick of this. I'm sick of this. I'm sick of, he is abusive.
She's talking about Officer Tyler Marney of the Bosque Farms Police Department. Because he's a cop, a supervisor is called in. The next step, the lieutenant wants to see where it all happened. She takes them to her home.
The subject is walking out of the house at the moment.
Marnie is there and shares his side of the story.
Got an argument about 2 a.m.
Yeah.
Over a text message.
He's asked if it got physical.
At any point did you place your hands around her neck? No. At any point did you headbutt her?
No. There's my drag marks. You can see.
Okay.
Here's my mark where so I was standing here, so when he grabbed me, he dragged me, slammed me up against this.
Then she says after pushing up the bill of the thin blue line hat he was wearing,
he headbutted me twice with his bare forehead.
You can see the makeup marks on the bathroom wall police photographed as evidence, along with blood blisters and marks on her neck. Enough evidence to bring a felony charge.
I do have reason to believe that a battery occurred.
The cuffs are put on. Officer Tyler Marney is taken to jail for aggravated battery, and Marney's current chief arrives at the house.
We got to do what we got to do, regardless of who it is.
That afternoon, Bosque Farms Police Chief Andrew Owen texts his department about, quote, the incident, asking them to, quote, squash all the rumors about one of our own keep Tyler in your prayers.
Chief Owen wouldn't speak with me on camera, but says following his officer's arrest, the department placed Tyler Marney on paid administrative leave, opened an internal investigation, and alerted the Law Enforcement Academy Board, an agency we've learned is familiar with Marney.
The LEA board's been investigating Marney's police certification since December 2019. The latest report accuses Marney of, quote, dishonesty and fraud and having a, quote, lack of moral character.
There is nothing more important than the continuity and protection of public safety through trust within the folks that we ask to deliver that.
DPS's Ben Baker manages the state's Law Enforcement Academy. He wouldn't speak specifically about Tyler Marney's file, but public records from his office reveal Albuquerque police submitted a misconduct report on Marney 2 years ago while firing him for lying on his application. The then deputy chief says Marney, quote, should have never been hired and is, quote, not fit to be an officer.
The reality is that it took the city a few years to find that out because Mr. Marney concealed it from the city.
That's Albuquerque's city attorney speaking to the personnel board who would officially fire Marney in May 2020 after APD learned of the trouble he had at a previous stop in Portales. Records show Marney resigned from Portales PD before they could fire him. He was criminally investigated there, accused of giving a, quote, stolen police radio to a, quote, suspected female drug dealer who he was, quote, having a sexual relationship with. DPS suspended Marney's police certification for 60 days in 2012. Tucumcari hired Marney shortly after that, before he made his way to Albuquerque. APD also claims Marney didn't disclose he'd been accused of domestic violence in the past. We found at least one court filing from 2010, a restraining order request by an ex accusing Marney of physical abuse.
Despite these serious accusations that DPS says could lead to Marney losing his police certification, Bosque Farms hires Marney in October 2020. The police chief tells me the LEA director said Marney's certification was, quote, in good standing at the time he was reviewing Marney's application. But even after learning of these allegations, the chief kept Marney on, citing, quote, he's innocent until proven guilty.
In January, the woman asked prosecutors to drop her case against Marney. She's now refusing to testify.
She has indicated to the state that she is not cooperative in this matter, therefore the state will know it.
With the criminal charges dismissed, Chief Owen says Marney is back on the job, patrolling Bosque Farms.
Absence of conviction does not mean innocent of a violation of one's licensure requirements.
Ann Perrette, KRQE investigates.
The State Law Enforcement Academy Board did yank Marney's police certification in April. The Bosque Farms police chief says Marney left the department before then. He wouldn't say if he quit or if he was fired. We did reach out to Marney for a comment. He declined. A New Mexico police officer lost his job this year after he was accused of raping a female DWI suspect. KRQE News 13 investigative reporter Gabrielle Burkhart obtained police videos showing what the woman told investigators and how the criminal investigation unfolded.
You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in court of law.
Before this moment, 22-year-old Leon Martin was an officer with the Ysleta Police Department, making his own arrests and sworn to uphold the law.
Where am I going to be going?
MDC.
KRQE Investigates obtained video from state police showing officers arresting Martin back in November. His charges, 2 counts of rape, false imprisonment, demanding or receiving a bribe, and violation of ethical principles of public service, all felonies.
To be honest, I do regret it. It did escalate, I'm not going to lie. I could have prevented it. I should have prevented it, but it escalated too far than what I wanted it to.
In an interview with investigators, he told officers he'd arrested a young woman for DWI after she crashed her car into a guardrail on the Ysleta Pueblo.
Due to her being involved in the crash, I had to take her to Loveless. to be medical cleared, and then after level this, I had to take her back to the jail.
But Martin admitted he didn't drive the young woman straight to jail. She later reported Martin drove her to a secluded area down a dark road by MDC and had her sitting in the front seat of his patrol car.
He drove us out into the middle of nowhere, and it was a 2-lane road. He starts kissing me. He puts his hands into my shirt and grabs my breast. And he's just kissing me, you know, we're just kissing. I'm going along with it because I'm scared. I'm in the middle of nowhere.
She says Martin pulled over and asked her to go to the driver's side, where she says she was raped.
Because they teach you fight or flight, but if it's an officer, you get charged if you fight, and you get charged if you run.
The 21-year-old described feeling scared and helpless, like it wasn't going to end.
And he even said that he could change the time on the paperwork.
The woman says she recognized Martin as the same officer who responded to a previous domestic violence call she was involved in, saying after that call, Officer Martin messaged her on Facebook and was, quote, trying to hit on her.
I ended up having her as a friend on Facebook.
Martin admitted as much, but says he only wanted to make sure she was okay after his initial report. Then, when he picked her up for DWI in November,
I said, well, you know what, we can drive and talk, and that's when she said, oh, okay, that's fine. So we did drive and talk. Like, she kissed me on the neck, and I kind of pushed her away, and I said, well, we can't be doing this.
He claims she was making advances on him.
To be honest, we did have sex, but it was like, it wasn't for long.
On the long drive to book her in jail, the woman says Martin kept insisting she never tell anyone what happened. She says he even promised he'd ask the judge to go easy on her.
Did you tell her anything like, hey, I can talk to the judge a little bit to maybe help you out?
She did say that she wanted help. She did say that, and I said, well, when we go to our hearing, I will ask the judge to help you, but that's going to be up to the judge.
Martin also claims he got turned around and started driving the woman to the Metro Detention Center in Albuquerque instead of the jail in Valencia County. Part of the reason, he says, his transport took so long. Investigators didn't buy it.
I mean, you're going west when you should be going south.
Right.
You know, that's a huge difference. Is that what happened? You just took her up there because you knew it was a secluded spot?
No. Yeah, but no.
You obviously were wanting to have sex with her. If you didn't want to have sex with her, you wouldn't have had sex with her, right?
Yeah, she said that she did want to talk to him, and that's when it did escalate.
Well, you let it happen.
Yeah, I let it happen. You know, I'm in the wrong for doing that.
Isleta Pueblo Governor Vernon Abeyta issued a statement saying Martin is no longer employed by the Pueblo and they're cooperating fully with the investigation. Martin remains in custody on a no-bond hold, his criminal case still pending. Gabrielle Burkhart, KRQE Investigates.
The Law Enforcement Academy Board voted to revoke Leon Martin's law enforcement certification in December. If convicted on all counts, Martin faces up to 24 years in prison. The young woman's DWI charges from this case were dropped, quote, in the best interest of justice. We're getting a closer look at the family of the man charged with killing 3 Muslim men in Albuquerque. In the 5 years we know the Syeds have lived in Albuquerque, they've had more than a few encounters with police. Investigator Ann Perrette is here with police videos that show the family's troubled past.
Well, Albuquerque police either interrogated or arrested the Syed family, specifically the father and his 2 older sons, more than a dozen times in the last 5 years. They've been accused of all types of violence, from attacking each other, once with a metal spoon, to shooting at people outside of a Walmart. And each of those cases went nowhere in the courts.
How old are you?
A bloody, shaken-up man stands half-clothed in a busy shopping center.
They drug him out of his car and they just kept beating him, and then the Prius took off.
It's December 2017. He walks police to his car, picking up his shoes and clothes he says the attackers threw around the parking lot.
And he coming and hit me, and I take out, yeah?
Who's he? Like,
it's my
girlfriend?
Parents, brother, mother, and father.
The Syeds. This is the first time that we know of APD learns of Muhammad Syed. His own son accuses him of similar violent behavior a year later.
What's going on? So my dad started hitting me. It's not his first time. Every time he hits my mom. And she's telling me now to don't tell the police what he did.
That's an upset 17-year-old Shaheen Syed in December 2018. After the officer asks his mom to leave, you can see him repeatedly looking at the door that's separating him from his family.
Where did he hit you? Hit my head.
Shaheen says his dad beat him with a metal spoon and threatened him with a knife, adding he often abuses their mom. Police arrest Muhammad.
No. Come on. No. Stop. Stop. It's time to go.
We see an uncooperative Muhammad Syed again in 2020 after running a red light and refusing to pull over.
Get on the ground! Now!
It takes his son Syed's arrival to get him to comply. Police with guns in hand move in to cuff him. The complaint says he calls them names as they try to explain his arrest. That anger more evident when his son's arrested in 2020.
You wanna go? Yes! Back up!
The Syed family losing it. Officers arrest their oldest son, Adil, on accusations he beat up his girlfriend, stole her phone, and then drove to this apartment complex where he bit and punched her friends.
My son, go and answer
Why are you arresting him?
Because he's telling me to go like that to himself. I'm not going to tolerate that. I'm not going to tolerate
She's
that.
home,
So you have a choice. You can get them out of here.
Get away from my officer. Get away. 1 minute.
Muhammad blatantly ignoring the officer.
He's going to go to jail.
It's June 2020. This son who helps his dad avoid an arrest is Shaheen. He's currently in federal custody on gun charges, and police believe he may have helped his dad in the murders of at least 2 of the 4 Muslim men shot and killed ambush style in Albuquerque over the past 9 months.
His shirt is torn, there's blood all over it. Then he's got some blood on his pants as well.
Shaheen had a warrant for his arrest for allegedly causing these injuries to Muhammad in February of this year. His dad told police he was attacked when he tried to stop Shaheen from beating up his sister. Inside their home, the rest of the family doesn't cooperate.
Can I talk to you outside?
Hey, you're not going to interfere with the investigations.
When we spoke to them after their father's arrest for the murder of those 2 Muslim men this summer, they protected him again.
I believe they will release my father. He didn't do anything.
Ann Perrette, KRQE investigates.
The 2 sons were also investigated for shooting at a car in a Walmart parking lot last summer in a suspected road rage incident. The criminal complaint states Adil Syed admitted to police he fired 8 shots. All of these cases were dismissed or charges were never issued because either the witnesses or victims wouldn't cooperate, or in one case because a police officer didn't show up to court. We've heard frustrations from law enforcement about catch and release when criminals are let out of jail shortly after they're booked. But in this case, one man was able to let himself slip away from custody, escaping from a police station. KRQE investigative reporter Gabrielle Burkhart shows you the video.
My wife's vehicle that we drive broke.
Caught driving a stolen truck a few weeks ago, Jesus Jimenez tells a state police officer his wife's car broke down, so he borrowed the truck from a friend.
Where did he borrow the truck from?
One of his friends in Albuquerque. I don't know the friend.
His wife and kids are in the truck. The truck is towed, and an officer takes Jimenez to the state police station in Los Lunas for booking.
Where did you get the truck at?
One of my buddies lent it to me.
What buddy?
His name's John.
John what?
Martinez.
He says he doesn't have an address for his friend John or a phone number.
Where's he stay?
Up on the Bajito Mesa.
Okay.
I don't really doesn't have an address.
When did he lend it to you?
Just like last night. We just needed a right to register the kids.
The ignition's not punched out or anything?
No.
And he just said there's a truck in the Mesa that you can use if you need?
Like it was his, of course, in his property up there.
The officer's report shows the ignition on the stolen truck was tampered with. Still, the officer asks if Jimenez has any text message evidence or anything to support his story the truck was lent to him. Jimenez says he doesn't, so he's placed in a holding cell while the officer starts the booking paperwork. Take a look at what happens next.
You want to have a seatbelt?
You can hear the door latch. and see the officer's hand closing the door. That video clip ends. But piecing together other surveillance camera angles obtained through a public records request, you can see Jimenez at one point opens that door and stands at the doorway for a while to see if anyone's around. He inches out slowly. Notice his left hand is slipping through the handcuffs. He peeks his head out, wriggles his left wrist, pops open the door, and within 2 minutes casually lets himself out. Cameras capture his every move as he rounds the corner and completely slides his left hand out of his handcuffs. He escapes undetected. So how did this happen? In an emailed statement, a state police spokesperson tells us it appears the lock on the door malfunctioned and an internal investigation was launched to determine why. 10 minutes after the escape, the officer booking Jimenez notices he's gone. You can see the officer looking in doorways. State police put out an alert to be on the lookout for Jimenez, and 4 hours later, he was spotted and arrested at a home in Los Chavez near Belen.
Where the cuffs at?
I don't have one, man.
This time, officers aren't taking any chances.
And then he was coming over here. I was talking to Sarge, said he just left on a mountain bike. I was like, oh, there he is. I appreciate you guys, man.
Jimenez's original booking officer tells him,
that was the stupidest thing you could possibly done, dude.
No, but I didn't steal the truck.
No, I don't even care, dude. Yeah, you did.
No, I didn't.
And you're getting charged with it.
No, I didn't.
And everything else.
Jimenez's wife says she got a call from him asking for a ride home.
He didn't really explain too much with me. He didn't have handcuffs on him when me and my mom picked him up.
The officers leave her with this warning.
Never get into a vehicle with somebody where the ignition's all jacked up. Yeah, he's going to jail for a while.
Court records show he was released 2 weeks later. Gabrielle Burkhart, KRQE investigates.
State police say they're also investigating if there were any violations of policy and procedure with the escape. Court records show Jimenez's criminal case is still pending. If they're killed in the line of duty, their families are supposed to be taken care of. That's the promise law enforcement officers have heard again and again. But what if they die of COVID-19 after seemingly catching the virus on duty? In a KRQE investigation, Ann Perret shows you the fight a deputy's family has had to wage to get what they believe they deserve.
The sheriff's department came and escorted us home. Every town we went through, they picked up more police cars, and it was a very neat honor.
Ready? Hey! Fire!
Honors for a man who served 12 years in law enforcement.
My dad was an FBI agent, so we go way back.
His son, Brian Vanetta, began his career with the U.S. Border Patrol before returning home to Curry County.
He said, I want to come back where my granddad and where you served the community, and when you went into dinner, people go, hey, I know you were at my house the other night.
Charlie Vanetta and his son were actually partners for 2 weeks in 2021. The Sheriff's Department asked for his help during the pandemic.
To get to do that and to watch each other and watch each other's back was amazing.
He loved serving his community. That's why he did law enforcement. He just had a great personality.
Christina Vanetta married Brian in 2015. The two met when he transported a patient to the hospital where she worked. Christina brought 2 sons into Brian's life.
They were not his biologically, but they became his. If anybody were to say they were his stepkids, he'd probably punch them in the face. He did not look at them as his stepkids. They were his boys.
Boys now growing up without him. Brian died months before his older son's high school graduation. He tested positive for COVID-19 December 18th. The deputy, who wasn't vaccinated, spent 2 weeks on a ventilator, including Christmas and New Year's, and passed away on January 3rd. Brian was just 34 years old.
I never would have thought when I took my husband to the emergency room that was the last time I was going to actually be able to see him.
On top of grieving, Christina had to spend the 6 months after he died fighting for her husband's line-of-duty death benefits.
He worked. He didn't just sit at the office all day. He didn't go sit somewhere in his car. He was very active in his job. So I have no doubt that he caught this on duty. None.
The workers' compensation paperwork submitted by Curry County agrees, saying they presume their deputy was exposed to the virus while on patrol, but
they denied it. They're insistent that he did not get COVID on duty.
I tried to question the privately run New Mexico County Insurance Authority pool and was told, quote, the discussion or decision to deny any claim is privileged. With this denial, Brian's wife and kids are missing out on more than $600,000, 13 years of his salary through workers' comp, and extra state retirement funds.
So now he only gets what he's put in. He doesn't get fallen officer retirement, which is huge.
Trying to recover at least some of the workman's comp money, Christina hired a lawyer to fight the insurance authority's ruling. She settled. Rather than dealing with the court process, they'll pay Brian's family $15,000 total.
I have a lot of anger built up just because my husband served his community. He served the people of his community, and there's nothing.
His family could be getting some help from the federal government, though, up to $390,000 for Deputy Vanetta's death. A law passed in 2020 expanded the DOJ's Public Safety Officers Benefits Program to now say it should be presumed an officer who contracts COVID-19 got it on the job. So, to the feds, Deputy Vanetta did die in the line of duty. Senator Cory Booker of New Jersey sponsored that bill.
We must eliminate the instances in which families are asked to prove what is unprovable.
So what about the state government? New Mexico's governor issued an executive order similar to the feds, but it only applies to state employees. County deputies work for their local government.
The more claims you have, the more money you have to pay to cover your claims. So it could affect the county's bottom dollar as far as their premium for insurance.
Do you think that's...
It has to have some bearing on it.
I tried to reach Curry County's manager, Lance Pyle, who also serves as chair of the board that governs the New Mexico County Insurance Authority. He refused a phone call, but emailed to say the board does not make decisions on claims and, quote, my heart breaks for the family on their loss.
The county manager has not reached out, not one time.
It's hard to understand.
The Vanettas feel outside of the sheriff's department, their county leaders have abandoned them.
They didn't attend his funeral.
And
that bothers me.
You know, I would hate for another spouse to have to go through what I've gone through.
Brian's death also alerted his county to a, quote, oversight. The Vanettas believed his $50,000 life insurance would double since he died in the line of duty. But Curry County hadn't been paying for that added benefit. Ann Perrette, KRQE investigates.
Since our story aired, both the state and the feds have acknowledged Brian Vanetta died in the line of duty, providing the deputy's family with death benefits. In this year's legislative session, New Mexican lawmakers voted to increase the supplemental benefit provided to families of fallen officers. They could receive $1 million on top of the officer's retirement and life insurance. That law went into effect after Deputy Vanetta died. A New Mexico woman says she worked her whole life to pay off her forever home. But a surprise knock at her door changed everything. KRQE News 13 investigative reporter Gabrielle Burkhart shows you how the woman's American dream became a years-long nightmare.
This quiet corner home has been a sanctuary for Maria Zaragoza for 16 years.
Everything, it means everything to me.
The retired home health worker bought her home in 2006. She bought the house from another Spanish-speaking couple, Jacinta and Crisofo Garcia, signed and notarized a real estate contract, and put $20,000 cash into a down payment in a for-sale-by-owner deal.
How many hours would you work in a normal work week?
One patient 4, another patient 5, another patient 6. I would work over 60 hours a week.
Zaragoza came to the U.S. from Mexico in the 1960s and moved to the Las Cruces area to raise her 3 sons in a safe environment. She says she chased the American dream and worked hard to plant roots here to buy something of her own.
Pues sí, aquí quiero morirme. Well, yes, here's where I want to die.
She says she made $1,000 monthly payments to the sellers in the form of cashier's checks, with the agreement she'd get the home's title when the final payment was made.
Sí, yo tengo todas las copias.
I have all the copies.
Were you ever late?
Los señores me hicieron.
No, because I got a letter notarized at the time of the purchase that if I was 1 day late, I would get charged $100 extra.
In 2011, she made the final payment.
Me sentí muy feliz y contenta, pero
I was happy and content until I found out that the lady couldn't give me the title because the bank had it, and I went into a panic.
She says the seller admitted to taking out a mortgage on the home after selling it to Zaragoza. It turns out her real estate contract was never recorded by the county assessor.
That she got really sick. She felt really sick.
For years, Zaragoza felt her hands were tied with her home's title in limbo. Then, a gut punch.
In 2016, Zaragoza says she got a knock at her front door from a stranger, someone letting her know the home she thought she paid off was heading into foreclosure.
It's been a great injustice what's happened to Ms. Zaragoza.
Karina Rocha is a staff attorney with New Mexico Legal Aid, a nonprofit that provides free legal assistance to eligible low-income New Mexico residents. Rocha took on Zaragoza's case in November.
I thought it was bizarre that the case has been going on for so long and it still hadn't been resolved.
She says there's been turnover in judges assigned to the case, a series of motions filed in court, and the sellers failing to show at hearings.
The goal is to try to get Ms. Zaragoza to keep her home and then have the bank stop trying to foreclose on the home.
She says the mortgage in default was originally held by Wells Fargo. Then the debt was sold to Master Participation Trust, or LSF9, a company that appears to buy foreclosed mortgages in bulk.
This couple, a few months later after they signed the contract with Ms. Zaragoza, got out a loan on the property for about $78,000, which has now accrued interest. And I believe now it's at $142,000.
For years, New Mexico Legal Aid has been able to fend off a foreclosure sale. But Rocha says this year, LSF9 has been more aggressive in court, seeking to recoup costs on Zaragoza's home, filing a motion for summary judgment and the home to be sold.
Just for her almost being 70 years old and having to go through this anxiety and depression, not knowing, if she will be homeless within a few days.
Today, Zaragoza's living room is mostly empty. Her kids say she's already started packing things up just in case.
Would you have to move in with one of your sons?
Pues sí, ellos no me van a dejar sola.
Yes, they won't leave me alone.
Tengo muy buenos hijos.
I have really good kids.
She wants to share her story as a warning to other home buyers.
To be very careful because there's abusive people out there.
The Garcias don't have a listed attorney. Rocha says they've been MIA, and she'll push for a trial so her client can present evidence she was defrauded by the Garcias. Legal Aid says it plans to report the case to the Attorney General's office for possible criminal charges. Meanwhile, Zaragoza waits patiently for the looming court battle to end.
Mi esperanza es Diosito y ellos.
My hope is God and us.
Gabrielle Burkhart, KRQE Investigates.
After our interviews, a new Doña Ana District Court judge was assigned to the case and granted an emergency motion to postpone the foreclosure sale. New Mexico Legal Aid says it will still push for a civil trial and then reach out to the AG's office to see if fraud charges can be filed. That does it for this KRQE Investigate special. You can find more stories from Gabrielle Burkhart and Ann Perrette on KRQE.com under KRQE Investigates.